of stuff and ruin the kitchen.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, wouldn't it be a nice idea to have somewhat of a vision to increase the preaching in different
The
places?
vision is already there. So why not just fill in the vision? We can sit and have a visions, but we don't do anything. So why not just do something? And while you are doing, certainly with some vision, then Krishna reveals. Maybe it's a not appropriate vision according to time and circumstances. Okay, then you try this. Prabhupada also had his tries, and tried this way and that way. But the basic vision is already given there by Prabhupada, totally. So why not just serve that? Why not just serve Prabhupada's vision? Instead of pumping up new ones and declaring them to be his vision. That's quite offensive actually. Now this is Prabhupada's vision. And you invent all this funny terminology, and whenever you hear funny, this very, very foul words, the mega fifth dimension preaching, then be careful with this, because this is usually indicating somebody doesn't know what he's talking about, and possibly he's a cheater. He has his personal need to look distinct and bring something which was never done before. This is another dimension of Prabhupada's preaching. You know why? Because I am in another dimension. And this comes up, which are mostly cheating. Why don't you serve Prabhupada's vision? Is already there. How much prasadam did you distribute? How many books did you distribute? That's the vision. You say, no, that's the means to get to the vision. No, this is the vision. Actually, behind it sometimes is a very poisonous idea that this book selling and this food selling is just a mundane thing. We are just selling something. That's called Mayavada. You should cultivate a higher understanding. There's one fool coming here in the door, not very long time ago, said, I don't want to hear this lecture, this is for beginners. Defining himself as being very advanced. Such a people, Krishna rewards with a very advanced sex life. Boom. Oh. And they don't talk. Kali Yuga is so far, they don't stop talking. Even until AIDS close them down or something very brutal. Yes. Shut up, bam, boom, down. No, AIDS. Well, that's just my real life. That's for the advanced levels. It's just they never stop. It's unbelievable. Material nature slapping you in the face, right and left. No, Kali Yuga is like this. They never stop. Until Lord Balaram appears with a blade of grass and goes, Krishna personally has to finish him. Of course, in this case, it's material nature is enough. So we shouldn't put ourselves up in the 10 category.
Of course not, but I was also thinking...
We can bubble so many visions. We have no right to develop visions. We have not the license to develop visions. Prabhupada's vision is already there, we should serve it. Who gave us the right to develop visions? We have no right. It's a little bit like military, You go in the military and you are serving the first year in the military. You go, I have a vision, we should fight this battle. And, ISIS's weapons, and then we should just, we should have a new strategic approach. You don't even know how to shoot a gun. What vision? So learn this, learn the basic training, learn the fight, and then, but the visions are already clear. Prabhupada was very open about the vision. There's a place for everybody in that vision. So why not just serve that vision? When Prabhupada was asked, why don't you publish Chaitanya Charitamrita? Nobody understands this. And why should we distribute this on the street? Nobody understands one thing. They rather get the wrong idea. Why should this should be a book for distributing to these people. Prabhupada said, I don't know. My spiritual master told me to translate and publish his books. I follow him blindly. That's vision.
There is instinct, Prabhupada. ISKCON should be a society to live independent from outside help, producing our own grains,
Yes.
I don't know. But we don't have it.
So you don't have the people for that.
So?
The idea is right, the concept is right, there are even means to do that. We don't have the people for that. We have just visionaries. No, we need farmers.
And then we can have courses on it.
No causes, farmers.
Farmers.
And automatically there will be causes. You see, there's a functional farm, self-sufficient, working. Go there and learn. Simple vision. But we have our virtual farm. It's like these games, you can buy actually a CD, how to conduct a farm. But you sit at home on your computer and you get hungry. Simple as that. Nothing to eat. So I hope that Krishna will arrange more that we have nothing to eat. Then alternative farming will become very popular.
Yeah.
But first, the food has to go out. It's unfortunate that we have to learn this way, but all devotees, this gone. There's nothing to eat, damn it. Go out and dig some dirt and get something food and be self-sufficient. That's really, because you have to. Right now we are all just
We're all
You
smart.
find one farming devotee, where are they? So this is basic, and Prabhupada was very practical. He started these projects, and in the hippie times it was more easy because people wanted to go to the land, and they wanted to live in communities, and they wanted to get out of the cities. Now it's like, why? It's so nice here.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah. And India is getting completely screwed up with this, everybody has to drive, I have a car, it's horrible. It's not even a road, Just get them from the land into the cities. What an idea. In India especially. Why? The only reason India survived all this was a high level of religiosity, all that chaos and all this, and farming. 80% agricultural land. And they want to destroy this, religiosity and farming. Well, that's the end of India. It would be nice to preach to India like this, just straight out.
I do that.
You're a bank,
Tirupati, I do that.
I just heard the story of Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, I think, having some very well-to-do computer company, his computer company, and he became his disciple and he made him to a farmer. I just said, "Go, this chip business is going to be finished very soon. What are you going to do then? Eat your old computers or what?" Just go to the...
He had a big salary. Very big salary.
Yeah, you know it?
Yeah,
you know that
I know
story?
Struggling now. Yes.
Big salary, big thing, but how long? I mean, what are you going to do with this? I'm not a farmer, but maybe even in this lifetime I have to be one. Because it's all, what? Yeah, tomorrow you go to Rema, it's closed, Empty shelves. I know how empty shelves look like from the communistic days. When I grew up in the communistic country, there was constantly empty shelves.
Oh.
People in the shop and, hey, where's the milk today? Well, come tomorrow. It was all delayed and it was mismanaged too also, They were stashing the last, and somehow the communists, their food was still very holy, so there was always bread, meat and alcohol. It had to be there, Milk you can skip, but it has to be a bread, meat and alcohol. Vegetable also, if you want to grow some. But what you see Manidhar Prabhu doing here, this little urban farming, that was the standard in the communistic days. Everybody had a patch of land. And it's until today like this. It's such a deep-rooted culture that even now, packed shopping centers, and you can buy whatever you want. People still have their patch of land. I remember when I came to Czech Republic after the lecture, people are going, "It's a nice lecture, I can give you something." And they gave me, this is homemade jam, It was like, it was like a currency, So if you really love somebody, you give him this. This is from my own berries, a homemade jam. This was very important. It's very important. Even you live in a city, everybody in a city had a little patch of land outside. And the weekend, Friday afternoon, it started, the whole city invaded the countryside. And everybody was sitting there in the 10 square meters and going, and watching the tomato growing. It's also because in the communist days you couldn't go anywhere. So you were sitting in your little garden. Very good. All over the eastern countries, very important. Well, that's something you can do it. Like in Russia, people live in broken houses in the countryside, completely finished, but they have a big vegetable and big, growing whatever they can. So we have to come more to the Russian standard, finished, everything finished, and then, then we will have no visions, farming vision. No, hungry and grow some food, that's the vision. I hope it will still come in this lifetime. It will be fun for me to watch it.
Yes.
Personally, I have already a piece of land to go to, but poor people who don't. It's my neighbor in Czech Republic. I used to live in a small village. He was a really gross shooter. Every word was a curse. That's a really Czech languages can produce the worst and the best. All languages can do that, but he was really gross. But he liked devoted. And he was a carpenter, very good carpenter. So he was going to Prague, to the main city 50 kilometers away, fixing people's flats. Sometimes they wanted a wood paneling and this kind of thing, so he was doing. And these huge concrete flats, when he came back, he told me, I told him I was in these big concrete monsters, these blocks of concrete, I told him, the day will come, you will flush your toilets with mineral water. Because, it's all one pipe, these things. It's so centralized that one defect, the whole thing is closed down immediately. Central heating, central sewage, central everything. So, it basically boils down to a few pipes. And when these pipes are finished, then thousands of people sit there in their flats, and they go, no water, so you have to flush the toilet with mineral water. That's the last thing you have. And when this is finished, I don't know what you're going to do. You are completely at the mercy of the management. Even this place here, what do you think we can do? The good thing that by that time there is not so much, this law and this control. I already know what I will do here. I just punch a hole into the wall here and put a pipe out, that's the chimney, and collect any garbage on the street and heat with it. As simple as that. That's the first thing, how you get warm. I know even how to do that. So what? But normal people go, it's not working. It's not working. Yeah, it's not working. Yeah, it's just a piece of metal sitting on the wall. This is just a little example. I used to live I had 2 houses. I lived in a house there was no central water. The well, that's called very luxury. You just throw a bucket down there and you have a water. What will people in Berlin do when the water system is gone? The whole thing can go in like this in 1 hour. The whole thing. Boof. So that's a vision. That's a vision. Our visions will be clearly divine by necessity. And how much more they will change. Oh, they will. People get desperate. So this is, this is the visions. And we should be prepared, but be aware of visionaries who just have a visions and nothing else to offer. If there is a vision, you should also think, okay, how can we do that? And then everything depends on people. If you have no people, sorry, it's just a vision. You can put it on a shelf and that's it. It's going to remain in your computer. Prabhupada, without any internet, without any phone even, he talked to people, individually. That's how the movement started. Because we have nothing more precious as people. There's nothing more of value as a new bhakta or as a new person who comes around and wants to do something for Krishna. That's the real capital we have. Money comes and goes. But if people can stay and contribute like this, that's a great benefit. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.